Good morning again, class. Now, we've gone over the fishing pole. What I want to do is I want to go over the tackle and what type of tackle box I have or we have for class. What we have is, I guess I don't know how to turn this around, but that's okay. We have this type of tackle box right here, okay? It's pretty basic. It's a 2-tray box, and this will hold some of the equipment that you need for fishing. You'll notice in here we have artificial worms. This is actually a spinner. We talked about the different types of terminal tackle. This is actually a spinner because when it goes in the water, this spins around and attracts the fish. Okay, so we've got a spinner. The other thing we have a couple spinners in here. We have a couple different types of bobbers. We also have some hooks. This is a nice big hook. You can see on this hook that there is a little barb right here, and that helps for when the fish bites it to hook into their mouth. But this is a larger hook. We have smaller hooks in here, and well, some other stuff we have. We want to make sure these are some different types of hooks. Again, another bobber. Here's a little lure. It's almost like, it's not a crankbait. I'd have to look it up. I honestly don't know what it is. I just have it in here. Somebody who knows this, let me know. We'll talk about it. The other things you need to make sure you have in your toolbox are some scissors or some pliers. For class, I always have gloves because invariably somebody doesn't like the feel of a fish, so we make sure we have gloves. This is that monofilament line I was telling you about, and something I want to share with you is if you use monofilament line, it takes over 200 years for this to decompose. So when you use it, I would appreciate if you have a little bottle or something that as you cut it off of your pole and don't use it, if you stick that down into a cup or into some receptacle to hold on to it so that it doesn't get into the rivers and the water where you are, because this line, when it goes into the water, you may think, oh, it's not a big deal, but it can be because it'll attach to the trees and fish will get caught in it, turtles get caught in it, and it causes a lot of damage to the other habitat that are sharing the waters with the fish. So please be aware of that, all right? Let me see. So there's some more gloves, as you can tell. Here is just a little bit more piece of bait. This is a swim shad. If I use shad a lot if I'm fishing for stripers. I like to fish for stripers. So you have that in there. You've got this other types of artificial bait. This is, they all say bass love them. Everybody loves them. Mine's a pretty basic. This is a lead line right here, wire leader. And what this does, if I can get it out, is you'll see this is a metal, maybe this is better so you can see it on here. This is a metal lead. So you would attach this end to your line as part of your terminal tackle. It's actually right before your terminal tackle. So you would attach it there with your improved clinch knot or cinch knot, and then you would have this end where we have a swivel. You have a swivel attachment, and I use a lot of these because instead of having to cut my line and then retie it, I will use this, and it makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to change out my tackle. So I really like the lead lines. I do a lot of those. On the fish, you'll see on the class portal, I did not use a lead line. Those were just mine. I think that's all really I have, and it's a pretty basic fishing box. The one thing I would suggest is that if you can get a pair of hemostats or a pair of needle nose pliers, that would be good, because if a fish swallows the hook, you have to get it out. And you have to get it out with the least amount of trauma to the fish that you can, because you want to be kind to the fish. And this time of year, if you're going to catch a bass, you need to really be aware of how you're going to catch and release it. And we'll talk about that a little bit in class today so that you understand how that is. All right? That's all I've got for the parts of the tackle box. Oh, here are some weights. These are some weights that we can use. So that, and you can tell they're small. These are called split shot weights. And all you do is you just pinch them together and they stay on the line. There's all sorts of different type of weights you can use. You got different sizes of bobbers. As I said, you saw the bigger one. We've got the yellow, and then we've got the red. So we've got some things. And we've got a generic tackle box in here, but it works for class and for other things. So that's where we are. And I will see, I will see you in just a few minutes in class.